Wagwan! Good morning, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the first episode of... Dude, it's not that hard. In this show, we will figure out how to do stuff people may find hard, break it down, twist it and turn it, and get it done. So what are we going to figure out this season? All right. How do we write and publish a book? Wait, that's it? Dude, it's not that hard. So who am I? Who am I? My name is Chris. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a writer. I'm a publisher. I have my master's degree.
I have my master's. I'm a game developer. I'm an animator. I'm an artist. I'm a designer.
I am a thespian.
I'm an actor. I'm a salesman. I am a QA tester. I'm a business owner. I'm an investor.
And all around, nice guy. And if there's one thing you need to know about me, I like creating stuff. So the first thing we'll need to write a book is a pen. Book. Or a laptop. Why did I do that? A brain. And the world of imagination. So for our book, you need a story. What is a story? In a 3-act structure, you need a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the beginning is where we have our introduction, our setting, our characters, and our plot. So you may be asking, well, Chris, what's a story or a plot? Well, the difference between a story and a plot is a story deals with the what. The plot deals with the how. In my story, Journey of Cabo, the story is a man has his wife kidnapped by a demigod. And so he travels all across Africa in order to find her. He finds her, defeats the god. The plot, however, is that he travels all across Africa in order to get the seeds that give him magical powers in order to defeat this god. You want to make sure that your introduction sets the tone of your story. You want to make sure that it's either gripping if it's an action book, or if it's scary like a horror film. A strong introduction lets your reader know what they're in for. Your introduction can be anything. You can go biblical, in the beginning, or you can go classic. It was a dark and stormy night. Or, for example, like in my book, Journey of Cabo, power is a hunger all men possess that can never be satisfied. A feast dined at death's table. Ooh, isn't that chilling? Next, you'll need to establish your setting. Where does this story take place? It can be anywhere. It could be your bedroom. It could be across the galaxy. It could be Niagara Falls. It could be Africa. It could even be inside your brain. A cool setting will have your reader wanting to go anywhere with you. Now, your story is going to need some characters. And luckily, a character can also be anything or anybody. It could be a super brave woman warrior chick, or a super shy and scared boy all the time. It can be a tree. It can be a shrub that talks. It could be a little bird. It could be someone across all the spectrum of time and space. The important thing is to make them as interesting as possible and not limit yourself to your own imagination. Make sure to get out of your comfort zone when you're making your character, because then your reader will be interested with you. Now, it's important to note that you don't need all your characters or all of your settings in the introduction. You just want to make sure that you have some of the more important settings and the more important characters at the beginning so that people know exactly what they're getting into. Now, after the introduction is our middle, and that is usually where the majority of the story takes place. Now, this is where you want to fill up the story with your most plot. The A to B, how did the hero escape, or how did they fall in love? Romeo, I love you so much, Romeo. Dang it, woman, I know it. In the book Julie's Puppies, we learn about Julie. In the first page, we find out she's 10 years old, she loves puppies, and that she's a very responsible girl. In the middle of Julie's Puppies, we see that she decides to name her dog Lady, and we see her play with Lady and build a house for her. Lady goes missing, and when Julie finds her again, it turns out that she's pregnant. What? Julie, who had to learn how to take care of one dog, now has to learn how to take care of 6 dogs. And she handles it like a champ. Lastly, our story needs an ending. This is where we put all the pieces together. So, we had our introduction, we had our middle, and unfortunately, it's time to end the story. So Julie now has all these puppies to take care of, and she realizes that it's a bit overwhelming. And if she wants the best for these puppies, she has to be a responsible little girl and give them away. But why would she do this? She loves these puppies so much. So in the introduction of Julie's Puppies, we showed that she was a responsible girl. And so in the ending, you want to conclude that by showing her being responsible. So she goes across all over Jamaica looking for homes for these puppies, and she finally finds suitable people for all of them. Now, obviously, your story doesn't have to conclude in such a neat bow, but you usually want to make sure that you tie up any loose ends. You definitely don't want any plot holes in your story. Your story may have a very complete ending, or it may conclude into another story. At the end of the day, it's all up to you. It's your story, dude. Now, to recap, remember, you need your introduction. This is introducing your characters and your environment and your story. You need the middle, that journey that they take, and then you need an end, a conclusion to the story that you've just written. The cool thing about stories, however, is that you don't have to follow verbatim the formulas that you see laid out before you. You can do essentially whatever you want. You are free reign over your entire imagination. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. There's a lot of resources on how to write stories. There's Stephen King's On Writing. If you're ironically not a big fan of reading, there's also YouTube. My personal favorite YouTube videos on writing is Writing with Jenna Moresi. There's also Hello Future Me. These guys are writers themselves, and they have a whole lot of information on the subject. So the next time we meet, I'll be discussing character development, which is another cool subject and very important. You don't want boring characters. With these basic tools, you'll be able to write your own story in no time. Now, believe me, I know. Sometimes it may feel tough, almost impossible, and scary to want to start writing. You may feel like, yeah, who would really care about my writing? But think of it this way. How many people would read your writing if you didn't write it? 0. So at the end of the day, you might as well write, because you never know who you may be impacting, who you may be inspiring with your words. At the end of the day, your words matter, and I hope one day that I'll get to read them. Remember, I believe in you, And I'll see you in the next episode.
Hi, my name is Alana and I'm a librarian at the Austin Public Library, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how the library wants to support young creative writers. The Austin Public Library has 21 locations located all around the city of Austin, and if you've been to your local library, you may have noticed that we have designated quiet spaces for folks who want to read and write. You can also check out books with your library card. Each library card is allowed to have 50 items checked out at the same time. That means you can get fiction, nonfiction, graphic novels if you need some inspiration. You can get guidebooks written by authors to learn how to get published and make some money. You can also check out books that have writing tips. Literally, there are no limits when you have a library card. In the future, be on the lookout for writing workshops that are hosted at your local library. Unfortunately, during the summer of 2021, we are not hosting in-person programs at the library. However, if you check out the library's website, you will see a link to APL Plus. APL Plus is a virtual programming platform that has pre-recorded videos made for you. There are lots of videos about creative writing, so check out the library's website and get to it. Finally, I want to recommend before you head out to your library, I do suggest you check our website and call ahead to make sure we are open. These times are kind of wild right now and things are changing really quickly, so go ahead and just give us a call to make sure we are open before you head out. I know library staff are so excited to see our community again, so please come visit us at your local library, and I can't wait to see you soon. Bye!